Sharing control. Today we are going to talk about how to share control of the classroom proceedings with our students. The program of instruction can be seen as being divided into a number of linked stages. So our learning module or our classroom lesson can be divided into smaller units for the purpose of making teaching more effective. And these units can further be divided into activities, for example, presentations, and the tasks which we intend to give to our learners. So these smaller moves are characterized by a linking activity with them. Traditionally, we see that the classroom control is the exercise of the directions over the proceedings of what happens in the class. So the trainer exercises control through the lesson stages. So we find that there is no digression when the trainer is in control. Then there is no digression from the planned route, and the tempo and the direction which the lesson takes is strictly decided by the trainer. However, as the program progresses towards a more central position, we find that the trainer allows some involvement and contribution from the trainees. So to the right of the central position, the trainees can exercise a little bit of control along with the trainer. And later on, as the course proceeds further towards its end, then the trainees can even act independently. So we see here that in this line, we find that to the right of the central point, the trainees exercise their control over proceedings, initially with the trainer and later with a wider degree of independence as they move towards recreating the real world into the classroom. This illustration highlights the two polarities, but also shows the possibility of many intermediate teaching positions, each corresponding to a different methodological approach. So the two sides of the illustration highlight these two basic polarities, that is, whether the proceedings are going to be teacher-controlled or they're going to be learner-controlled. On one side of the line, but also but there are many other teaching possibilities of intermediate teaching positions in between. So the classroom activities and lesson stages are adapted for different roles, and the teacher has to decide how best to link these together. So at the presentation stage, it is best that all the proceedings go according to the trainer-controlled mode. But at the transfer or practice stage, this is best done through the trainee-controlled mode. We can see here in this image that the language activities are best done in the teacher-controlled mode, the trainer-controlled mode. The language activities could be teacher explanation, controlled exercises, language drills, and so on. But when it comes to communicative activities, then we find that there is more trainee involvement which is needed. For example, in activities like information gap, discussion of topics of interest, and then communication activities like simulations of communication, role plays, and discussions of topics of interest. So the relationship between trainer-controlled and classroom activities is shown below, that the language-controlled activities are best done through the trainer-controlled mode, and the communication activities are best done through the trainee control. Communication activities in the trainer control mode cannot achieve, they can be done, but they do not achieve the desired result of increasing or improving the fluency and accuracy and the effectiveness of communication in the learners. So what we need in the business English class, we need a free classroom environment in which learners use their own techniques and their own strategies, which best brings out the real world into the classroom. So in a teacher-controlled mode, we are less likely to achieve these objectives. We are less likely to bring in the real world into the classroom, and we are less likely to achieve our desired objectives of improving the fluency and communication objectives. So it is best that the trainees are encouraged to develop their own strategies, to develop their own techniques in order to achieve the objectives of increasing accuracy, fluency, and effectiveness.